I really felt like God was really putting on my heart that it's more than just about being physically intimate with our spouse, but it's about being emotionally intimate too. And that we need to find ways to let down the walls and let our husband in. Intimacy to me is literally, I'm going to open up and into me see. I'm going to allow you to see that person that's in there that maybe I hide from the rest of the world that only Jesus knows. And also that to create an environment of where we are making it a safe place for our husband to feel like they can do the same. That when they share things with us, it stays with us. And that we're building them up, right? We're encouraging them. We're their biggest cheerleader. That they know that at the end of the day, even if you're disagreeing about something, that you have their back and that you are on their team, right? So there's just a message from the Creator of what He wanted to say about that kind of intimacy. So we're just going to go over a few essential truths. And the first one is that most men have a very high sex drive. Does it exhaust anyone else? Okay, just being honest here. But if you shut down your husband sexually, or if you let him know that you can barely tolerate sex, because some of us women kind of portray that to our husband, you want sex again? Are you serious? It's going to cause them to be set up to go astray. Now, if your husband sins against you in this area, it's not like you chose to sin, but if we are not creating a robust, healthy sex life with our spouse, they physically need that. They need to be able to release their emotions and other things often, or they can get very anxious and uptight. And this can end up in them looking at porn, being attracted to another woman, starting to have emotional affairs and bonding with other women. So we definitely don't want to tear down our home with our own two hands by not embracing intimacy with our spouse. Essential truth number 2, God intends sex to be confined to marriage. This is His way and it is perfect. Hebrews 13:4 says, "Let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled, for God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous." Now, a lot of us are not perfect and we're not saints, and we actually slipped up and had sex outside of marriage, perhaps as a teen or a young adult, or even some women have had affairs. And really, do any of us look back on that choice and we're like, yeah, I'm glad I did that? No, I don't think any of us do. And there's negative consequences when we step out of God's will and His plan for sex. And for intimacy. You can end up with STDs, unintended pregnancies, emotional bonds with men that are hard to sever. We've talked about this before, that when we cuddle or we're intimate with another person, that oxytocin is released. It's a chemical that's released in your body, and it actually bonds you to them. That's why you see some amazing girls sometimes with this guy that's a total jerk and does not treat her right, and you're like, why are you with him? Why don't you leave? Well, once you kind of cross those lines and that hormone is released, or that chemical, whatever it is, then you're bonded in a different way to Him. And that's why God only intended it to be inside of marriage. It can also bring along shame and guilt when we're outside of God's plan. It also can cause the man to not really have commitment toward you, right? Because he's getting the cake and eating it too, right? As some people would say. Essential truth number 3, God intends husbands and wives to have a vibrant sex life that is bonding, erotic, and enjoyable. At creation, God designed Adam and Eve to unite physically. It talks about this in Genesis 2:24. "Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." God says we shouldn't deprive our spouse of a vibrant sex life. It talks about this in 1 Corinthians 7:2-5. It says, "But because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another. I'm just going to say that again. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So God makes it pretty clear that our body is not our own, and our spouse's body is not his own, that it's a gift for each other, that we're supposed to embrace physical intimacy. The Lord intends for us to actually enjoy this. Proverbs 5:18 and 19 says, "Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth. A lovely deer, a graceful doe, let her breasts fill you at all times with delight. Be intoxicated always in her love." I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but I think sex lives kind of go in highs and lows. It does for me, where it's like hot and heavy, and then it kind of cools off for a bit. And during those hot and heavy times, I think my husband is blinded to my faults, because the house may be a mess, and he'll just look at me and go, "I just appreciate you so much." And it literally has like, not drunkenness, but like that, just look on his face, because he is intoxicated with my love. So we need to figure out how to stay in those hot and heavy times more often, women. Anyways, the Bible makes it clear God is on board with a husband and wife being sexually playful and erotic with each other. In Song of Songs 4:16, the bride says to her groom, "Let my lover come into his garden and taste its delicious fruits." Yeah, okay. I don't know if I want to expand on that, but I think you guys kind of all get the picture there.